Unfortunately, if you have custody of the baby, I might have to catch up with the baby later on in life and hope I can salvage what you turned him into or her into. Because I, myself, I'll make another one. I'm just saying. Nobody will say that, though.
Corey Holcomb goes in on the Dr. Umar daughter scandal. Man, this is a crazy story. I've been following it all week. We're going to crack this thing, man. And you never want to be in a situation with your children where you have issues like this. And a lot of times lines get crossed. The mother's pumping information into the child their whole lives. And the father never really gets to say what's really happening.
I see that brother Dr. Umar is out there. Something with his daughter. I know gonna eat that shit up. I saw his daughter talk.
Right.
I know what's happening with that.
Yeah.
I have a daughter. Now my daughter, I always give my daughter credit because I know her mama egged her on to try to do it. But my daughter didn't go for it. Go on that. My daughter did some things that make me very disappointed in her, but I noticed she didn't do it. Now her mama do it all day long. Because her mama is stuck in the rock bottom somewhere. Hey, how much money Tasha K give you for that? You starving now, ain't you? Do you be? She don't even. Tasha don't answer the phone when she sees you now. She like, oh, I got the best of that. I need somebody else to come with something else.
You know, but that's.
He's talking about Tasha K. And he mentions Tasha K in a way to kind of warn us about what Tasha K's MO really is. That she really is for sensationalism and she really doesn't have a lot of loyalty to most people. So her reaching out to Corey's baby mom, like it caused a rift within their family, especially with his daughter. Corey feels like Tasha K actually exploited his baby mom's mental illness and they did a pay-per-view and stuff. And I don't even think it came out on the regular YouTube channel, but Tasha K did that for money.
It's a cold thing, man, because look, man, cowards sell shame to control people. Yeah. Anything that I've ever done, ever done in my life, if it came to the light, I'm not ashamed of it at all, right or wrong. You know what I'm saying? I may be disappointed in myself, but you know, you can't use shame to try to control people. And I think that's what the Umar thing is.
What is it about? What is the girl saying that he did?
Well, I mean, we're really.
Let's take a look at what the girl actually said. You know, all of this is still alleged, even though Umar pretty much confirmed that is his daughter. But she definitely had some things to say about Dr. Umar potentially being a deadbeat dad.
TikTok. So I just wanted to come on here with a small, short announcement. I just want to start this video off by saying I'm not trying to get clout. I literally just want to have a conversation with my father. My biological father is Dr. Umar. He has another daughter. I tried to contact him about, getting to know my sister on my dad's side. I asked him if he knows her or if he has her number. He ignored me and never responded. I'm 22 years old now. My dad has never been to anything important, no graduation, no birthday parties, nothing. He has not been in my life. Again, I'm not making this video to bash him. I'm making this video to state facts, okay? You can't get on Instagram and get on social media and portray to be an activist and talk about how black kings need to be with black women, but you're not even in your black woman's daughter's life. It doesn't make sense. You're being a hypocrite. And it's frustrating because I reached out to you. I shouldn't have had to do that. I'm your daughter. But I'm smart enough and logical enough to know that you would never reach out to me because you don't have my phone number. And I'm pretty sure you wouldn't try to reach out to me because for what? I don't want anything out of you. I want nothing but a conversation. Forget the relationship. I really don't care too much about that at this point. I just wanted a conversation out of you and you shut me down. You ignored me. You should never be too busy for your daughter ever in life. So I just wanted to make this video to just try to, I guess, somehow find my sister on my dad's side So if you see this, please reach out to me. Please DM me.
There's a sense of shame that she feels because she was likely groomed by her mother to hate her father. And there's a shame there because maybe he hasn't been there like he needs to be, but she may not understand that at some point the mother used her, weaponized her to try to control the father. And at the end of the day, regardless if it's your kid or not, the number one rule in life is self-preservation. So if a woman has more of the mind of the child and is trying to use the child against you.
Yeah, it's like in boxing. Protect yourself at all times. That is your responsibility. Absolutely.
If the playing field is not level, you're not going to be able to use anything to destroy me once I sniff out the plot. And if my child is not hearing where I'm coming from and they're too far gone, then we may have to be separated until they get to a point or an age where they can understand what kind of person their mama is. Because at the end of the day, women who groom children to hate men eventually will start hating their children.
Woo! You spit on there. But that's true because a lot of times the children actually figure out and resent the mother for withholding their father's presence. I wish a lot more single mothers would get that. Like ultimately holding your child away from their parent, their other parent, because you're mad is not a fair shake. They're missing half of them that should be contributing to their life and growth and development. And the fact that a lot of women out here are so pissed off and carry so much animosity inside that they can't see that until their child bucks back up with them and ends up resenting them for that fact, even resenting them for picking their father, because that is another part of this that a lot of women don't take accountability for. You picked this man, and now you're going to stop him from trying to at least be a positive impact in the child's life. And, you know, men are going to take the path of least resistance. That's why a lot of men are just like, hey, I don't want to hear nothing she got to say. So I'm just going to leave her alone and let her do her thing. The child will figure it out when they get of age, and they'll come back and they'll figure out who their people are and who I am.
It may be 50.
They've been hating their children.
Yeah.
If you ever aborted a baby, you hate your kids.
It was pretty
How?
sad.
Go ahead.
It was pretty sad to see. But
I'm saying, like, I think Craig had the nicest way of saying this.
That is the nicest.
This is how I'm going to say it. Look, I'm not finna spend my life arguing with you about nothing. Unfortunately, if you have custody of the baby, I might have to catch up with the baby later on in life and hope I can salvage what you turned him into or her into. Because I, myself, I'll make another one. I'm just saying. Nobody will say
Sad but
that,
true.
though. Hey, okay, this burn up over here. Let me start another family over here, and maybe if that one act right, I'll let him around my other family that I was able to groom.
Right.
Wow.
and as far as the Dr. Umar thing, I just despise when people go that route.
You know more about it. Was it one of your stories?
It was, but
Yeah,
it's okay. But the social media route, when people do that and have family so-called issues and put it out there like that, man.
What the young?
Yeah, Dr. Umar says she's a struggle streamer YouTubian, like the rest of us out here. So she trying to get clout off of this situation. It seems like this could have been handled differently, especially since Dr. Umar hasn't left that. Well, he does go to Ghana, but he hasn't left the Delaware, Philadelphia area. That area right there, that little corridor, you could have run into him at some point. You know what I'm saying? And it seems like an effort on the daughter's part wasn't made. She is the child in this situation, so you would assume the parent would have more of a say, but she's a grown woman now. She's 22 years old. She should be able to have a conversation with her father like mature adults. You're not a little girl anymore.
Young lady put it out there.
That's
She
what I'm
wanted
saying.
some.
It's
She
such
was.
a trick.
I'm going to get some attention.
Yeah.
That's all it is.
Man.
Because I don't care
YouTubian.
what me and my daughter went through.
And he did.
I was
respond.
proud that my daughter didn't give in to the pressure of strangers.
Right.
See,
In the bag.
one of the most dangerous in the world is who want to be loved by strangers.
Man.
Who more dangerous than that? who want to be the person who wants to be loved by strangers is a real problem. My daughter, mama, love that attention she get.
Yeah.
She would.
He's always on point.
What'd he say?
Peace, family. Envy is some real shit.
Chillin' pimp for real, man. When you see people who want people who don't know them to accept them,
right?
You be careful around somebody like that, boy.
Yeah. He has a response.
Especially
we gonna hear it.
Okay.
Especially people who aren't offering anything. You get what I'm saying?
Except they version of talent.
Right. You don't have a talent. You don't have a message. You don't have a religion. You don't have a
Kendra.
helping hand. You don't have anything but information on
Talking about Kendra G again. Wow.
other people to offer. And then we're media, so we speak on other people's business, but we have an opinion that's filtered through a point of view. This is entertainment. You know what I'm saying? So we give our opinion, our point of view on what's happening in the world. We're not making stories up. We're not waking up in the morning saying, man, LeBron James two white today. Y'all heard about that? No. Somebody reports on it, and then we give an opinion on that. But it's not a personal slander at LeBron. It's nothing.
Sounds like a reaction video, the way you described that. I tried to explain this to many, many people, and maybe people don't understand the logic of a reaction video most times. But a reaction video is literally what the news does every day. They hear something. They're doing exactly what Craig is describing right here. They hear something. They do some research. They watch clips, and then they put their opinion on it. That's all it is. You know, now there's been large adoption in the YouTube community, but some people don't understand why the interview is interrupted or why things are interrupted. The clip is interrupted. I can't just sit here and play the whole clip. You know what I'm saying? And believe it or not, some people actually respect my opinion. I'm knowledgeable on certain subjects, and I do research on stuff that I don't know. I had to snap on somebody in the comments the other day. I was like, you don't talk trash about the news when they do it, but somehow when I do it, it's wrong.
And personal going on in here when we talk about what's happening in the world. But some people, they don't have that ability to separate ideas from people. You know what I'm saying? So they only strictly take personal shots.
And they want to act
and bring no talent, like you say.
Right.
What do you say?
I'm not bashing you.
Really?
I just don't understand why you're ignoring me. I'm 22 years old and you have yet to be in my life.
Y'all know me too well. Y'all know my love for children is too strong. For anybody to be coming out the woodworks telling you they've been trying to reach me when my number has been public for 20 years. Listen, brothers and sisters, I want y'all to listen. My phone number has been the same for 20 years. So anybody telling you they've been trying to reach me and my phone number hasn't changed in 20 years, mind you, I speak at graduations in Philadelphia all the time. I'm on the street in Philadelphia all the time. I have events in Philadelphia all the time. I got family in Philadelphia everywhere. And you've been trying to find me? Stop the cap now. Can we please stop the cap, brothers and sisters? Trying to build your struggle streamer career off of my back, coming up out of nowhere, acting like you've been looking for me. Get Mama Smurf. When can the three of us have a sit down? I'm ready for this. When can Mama Smurf, Papa Smurf, and Baby Smurf have a sit down? Oh, I'm ready for this. And I will have my white man paperwork. When can we do the sit down? When can we do the sit down? Been paying child support since you damn near came out the womb. Deadbeat who? When can we have a sit down? Child support started, you wasn't even out your mama yet, and she took me to child support. Deadbeat who? Child custody file this thick. What are we talking about? Where is Mama Smurf? What is your mama's Instagram? We want to ask her some questions. Where's your mama's face? Where is the mother? And none of y'all asking no questions.
Lord have mercy.
This is how you know that this is not about the truth. If his number hasn't changed in 20 years, why haven't you called for an in-person conversation? You wait until now. Why is that? Why did you wait until now? I want you to get off of social media for a minute. Stop looking ridiculous. Get off social media for a minute, baby Smurf. Stop looking ridiculous. And I want you to get Mama Smurf. And on Thursday, 1 week from today, I'm calling you out, you and Mama Smurf. I want a respectable private FDMG tour and luncheon. Baby Smurf, Mama Smurf, and Big Papa. Wilmington, Delaware. Let's put it into this right now.
Okay, so he said on his platforms, telling his followers, pick a side. He said, don't let the evil take us. If you with me, you with me. If you ain't, you ain't. I'm not begging nobody. The only thing good coming out of this unfortunate situation is everybody got to pick a side. Pick a side and stay on it. Please stay on your side. No more frenemies. And he also said that he told the girl who says she's his daughter that he would only have a
He ain't claiming her?
I
yeah, he is now, but I'm just
I disagree.
I mean,
with him.
but other people were saying, so hold on. He said that he would only have a conversation if her mother was present so that his daughter could hear both sides. It's unclear if that has taken place or not. Or if she'll do it, because now she's reaching. To me, she's reaching. I think she made it worse by now coming out. I thought that would come up first if she was going to do this in public. Now she's saying that, putting it out there that he.
But that's how this generation gets down. Like, you got to realize these kids, they get the internet. These 20-somethings and Gen Z people, they get the internet and they think that's how you do a press release now. That's how you do a rollout. That's how you embarrass somebody. So, of course, that's her first resort, is to go to the internet. She doesn't know how much damage she caused to her situation. Now, maybe she doesn't care about the outcome. She's gotten to a place where she's like, I'm an adult. I can do this without my father. But obviously, your father is a celebrity of sorts. And it's interesting that she's trying to now ruin him at this point in his career while he's trying to build a school.
Do this in public. Now she's saying that, putting it out there that he used to beat on her mom, allegedly.
So I disagree with what Umar said about picking a side, man. That's an error in perception on his part, man. That's called dichotomous thinking, when you think somebody has to pick a side, like pick one side versus the other.
That's worse than the Drake and Kendrick beef. Like, the Drake fans and Drake think that you can't be a fan of both. Like, Drake has cut people off. I remember he cut DJ Khaled off for that very reason, because he felt like he had picked a side. Obviously, all the people that worked with him that have said something, Drake had an issue with him. It's such an immature take on things. Like, Dr. Umar should know way better than Drake. Drake should know better. But I guess Dr. Umar is Drake in this situation. He's losing this battle and he doesn't realize he's losing it, because this could really ruin Dr. Umar, because it goes to the core of the arguments that he's been making for years.
Something can happen that is wrong, and it doesn't mean you have to pick a side. The truth is not a side. The truth is the truth. So it's just whether, to me, it should be more about whether you believe them or not. And if you believe them or not, then you also have to have the empathy to realize that make mistakes. They don't see eye to eye. Shit happens where people aren't in one accord no more. But that don't mean that, that you have, it's not a competition. This is just an issue you having with your daughter that's really none of our business, and it should remain that. But you should never tell somebody to pick a side when you're beefing with your child, because it can go in the wrong direction. This is just about a situation that needs to be taken care of, period, point blank. But it don't have to be no sides. And that's him and his ego and his emotion.
Yes.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah.
Yes.
But I will tell anybody in this world who's grown talking against me, kiss my ass where it start getting pink.
That's real shit.
God, that's kind of deep.
And now that's deep in my.
Yo, all right. Yeah, but anyway, go watch the rest of the video on Corey's channel. Shout out to the 5150 show. Shout out to the 5150 Nation. On this Dr. Umar thing, I gotta say, I think Dr. Umar and his daughter need to let cooler heads prevail. Any of this saber rattling, any of this tough talking on the internet, this is none of our business, And you could tell this is really Dr. Umar's daughter by certain moves that she makes. She can put together a sentence pretty well, just like Dr. Umar can. And, for the last few years, Dr. Umar has been getting his message across almost in a fashion to to disarm people with the humor, you know. But I think Dr. Umar had good intentions in the beginning. A lot of people have been critical. I'm sure I'm going to see comments in here of people that don't like Dr. Umar and his mission. But unfortunately, these type of things do not help Dr. Umar's reputation at all. The allegation of potentially being a deadbeat, which he says he has paperwork for, which the white man's paperwork is what he says. I thought was funny. He also doesn't gain anything from this. Like, blowing this thing up is, you know, and I think his daughter should have a platform. Obviously, like I said, she seems to be an articulate young lady. She needs to have a way to make money, obviously, because, you know, she's well beyond the age where child support or anything is going to happen in that situation coming from Dr. Umar. But it is something, and I think a lot of people have this issue with a parent that is a public figure. You start to feel resentment for the fact that they're a public figure, and yet you're not in the public eye with them. You know, that would drive you crazy if you're a child in that situation. And I think that's where the daughter is right now. She's really hurt. And I wish Dr. Umar, the school psychologist that Dr. Umar is, could see that hurt in his own daughter. Instead of being callous, instead of coming on the internet and saying you're going to prove her wrong and her mother wrong, why aren't you taking the time with your daughter to actually get through to her, to actually communicate with her? This is a little girl who wants her daddy. Simple as that. So the way she acts out, the way she does what she's doing, you may not agree with her methods, but ultimately that's what I see is happening here. And see, this is why people are saying this exposes Dr. Umar, because all the stuff he talked about being in relationships, all the stuff he talked about strong Black families, it's all on display here. And then also with the school not being completed yet. Another woman had come out and said some stuff about a meeting she had with Dr. Umar and talked about his real situation and why the school can't be completed at this time. I think Dr. Umar has a lot on his plate and he needs to deal with it. Believe it or not, I think his life, actually, he's been speaking it into existence, but it's now mirroring Marcus Garvey in a major way. You know, the fact that he is actually, the longer he stays in this, the more he is seen to be somewhat of a charlatan. You know, they talk about Marcus Garvey and his Back to Africa movement, but apparently Marcus Garvey never made it to Africa. So it's always looked at as potentially a failure. And, you know, then the charges that were brought up, being exiled in a way. Is this Dr. Umar's future? Has he spoken to existence, his life being that of a Marcus Garvey, where he's just going to fade into darkness? We can't have a charismatic Dr. Umar be the only person that's participating in this thing in order for it to work. So I think there needs to be some study on that. But either way, let me know what you think about it in the comments. If you like this video, like, comment, subscribe. Hit the bell notification for all uploads. If you want to watch more, please watch one of these videos down below. Make sure you sign up for Faucette Media Direct. That's my streaming service. I have built a streaming service and I'm trying to word out to the people. The 3-day free trial, make sure you sign up. The link to 3 free videos is in the description. Go sign up right now. You want to really build something, you know what I'm saying? Like, support me on this. I'm guarantee you, I'm trying to build this thing up. I'm not asking you for cash apps. I'm not asking you for donations. So go sign up for that today. This is Faucette Media.